Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's so nice to see you all again. And this afternoon it's a very sunny Friday, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to update you about one or two things that have been going on in my life, and also things that are coming up. I'm just trying to position my bit of paper. You know I like a list, and I certainly got one this afternoon. The weather in the UK has been absolutely atrocious the last few days and weeks, but this afternoon I was inspired by getting out into this workshop. I mean, the temperature's literally under 10 degrees, but it feels warm. It does feel fairly warm. I'll probably put the little heater on later on. Let me just get my piece of paper. Oh dear me, I'll give up on that. Best way laid things of mice and men, as they say. But yes, so I thought I'd update you about one or two things that have been going on, and where we are with certain items. Now, this afternoon I'm going to have a look at the famous Sunshines carburettor, because it's been sitting on the bench for a few weeks now, and every week I think, oh, I must get out there, but the weather's been so cold I really wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't enjoy it out here. And also sunshine in the winter doesn't go too far. I did actually put the trickle charger on yesterday because the battery had, though it's brand new, it was only bought last January, it had actually dropped in charge a bit, so I topped it up, and the little charging unit I had, for the first time since I had it, is now telling me that it was fully charged, which because the battery's new, I think that's probably, you know, it's probably true, where when you've got an older battery I think it perhaps never gets to the full charge on that basis. So it's always best to, I checked by the voltmeter on the dashboard, the new one. I put in a few, I think it was last year, the end of last year, or year before, and that was saying well under 12 volts, so I topped it up and that seems to be working. So yes, so that's good news. So, and also I checked that sunshine was okay. There's a little bit of water coming in on the footwell of the passenger side, and I need to put some more draft excluder in there that'll keep that out. It blows in. It's always done that, and it's because the door fitment is not 100%, and of course, being a classic vehicle, you're never always going to get things to actually go as seal as you want. There's no water ingress into anything out of the part of that van. It's really good, and so that's sorting out. And also this year I need to get the little bit of rust that's on that dog leg on my side of the driving side to sort out. And Craig, my mechanic, has given me a company in the Maidstone town centre who he said do a really good job, and I've got one or two other areas that Sunshine could do, a few scabs coming, as I call it, along the front, and I think I'll invest in having that done because it's such a lovely vehicle. One thing that's annoyed me slightly, I bought some new hubcaps, and one side of the vehicle they've started to show rust, and I don't know whether that's because, and they were brand new, they weren't ever been on another vehicle, so and I waxed them, I cleaned them and waxed them plenty with G3, and you know, but they're showing rust, so I'm a bit concerned about that. I think perhaps it's the quality of the metal that was used. I don't think they came from good old Deutschland. I think they might have been from possibly Brazil or somewhere. That's where I bought them on Marketplace. The chap's fine. You know, I had no problems. They went through last year looking really smart, because the old ones had a few dents in where they caught the pavement. So I might have to give those a go. But otherwise, he's had a wash this year on the top and everything, so he's looking really nice. But I need to pull now once the spring starts, you know, I can start to pull the edges out. So there, yeah. So anyway, before I get too far into the waffle, now you might have noticed that I had a Duel 505-1 record deck, and I'd had that for several years, and it was sitting here in the workshop behind me, wasn't being used, and so I thought, well, I'll see whether I can sell it on eBay. So I put it up for, I think it was £40 at the time, and it's gone. It's sold, and it's gone to a chap in Southern Ireland. I had to, you know, and I sent it by DPD, and I have to say, I'm really pleased with DPD. They did a fantastic job. It got there safely, and it's so much so that he gave me some fantastic feedback. He said that it really was a beautiful machine. He hadn't played it yet, but it came safely, it arrived safely, which was my biggest fear. I've had some really disasters with things I've sold in the years ago with, I think it was Evie they're called now, and a beautiful amplifier which looked like a steamroller rolled over it because the steel is really thick, and it was completely shattered. And I gave the chap his money back afterwards because I felt so guilty about it. But anyway, that got there safely. Really good review. Thank you very much, Dave. And that's great if you ever watch my channel. The other thing is I sold a JVC deck, which also I put which you might have seen on the channel, which has now been sold, and that went to a lady in Deepest Wales, and she also, spoke volumes about how well it arrived. She played her parents' LPs on it, and she thinks it's fantastic, the sound. So yeah, they both had. I think one had a Stanton cartridge I sent with it. I think the other one had its original orthophone cartridge with it, and so which came with that particular Duel. I think so that's gone. So there will be other things on the channel coming up that I am selling. For example, I'm selling some very nice notebooks on eBay. So if you're into that sort of creative stuff, they're up there at the moment. So if you I'll put a link down below, as they say, and so we can do that, and you can follow those. And I've got a load of other stuff that I probably will be selling. I'm having a little bit of a clear out. You know how it is. I've sort of got to the time in my life I'm thinking, well, I don't need that, I'll downsize a bit. So that's probably what I'm doing. Possibly stuff you see in the workshop. Having said that, I have now purchased, dare he say it, another Portagram. This time it's one that's stereo. You see the one in the office music room, and I'll be playing some music later on at the end of the video for you from that beautiful stack of 78s that I bought in Maidstone. And this one's stereo, but it's got a very nice deck with it, but that's another project to come, sitting down here, so we'll be doing a bit of work on that. Okay, so yes, so the carb update, sold the two things. Now, I went on a trip to Birmingham for my best friend Colin, his 50th birthday party, and we had a real hoot of a time. Stayed at the Clayton Hotel, went to several restaurants, a place called Tutu's, which is a beautiful Chinese restaurant, had the most amazing food there, and also an Indian restaurant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a video of that happening. Also, we went to a beautiful cocktail bar called I think it was called At One. Yes, it's At One Bar, One At Bar, I think it's called. There's one in Soho, which I've seen on another channel, YouTuber's channel recently, and we had an amazing time there. I made some cocktails, which and Colin did. So I've put the bit of video of Colin making his cocktails. Worth watching that. Beautiful venue. And then Colin also did a video of his trip on his birthday, because he'd come back from the States and having his 50th. And so he did a montage of all our trip, which I'll also insert in the video. So it's worth watching. And Colin, if you're watching, great, mate. That's really good and fantastic time. And we're looking forward to going hiking and camping again this year, I expect. So be coming up soon. So I just thought I'd mention that. Yeah, so the other things on eBay I'm selling are the notebooks. Yes, the exhaust system for Passio, the one I don't use, that came off the car back in 2017 when I bought him. Been sitting under the table here, brand new, only done less than 300 or 400 miles, in new condition, selling it for, at the moment, £300 or near offer. So if you're looking for a rear box and pipes for a 124 Spider 2017 upwards, then let me know. It's on eBay, it's on Instagram as well. I'm on Instagram, so you can follow me there, and on the socials there. And also, also that sat nav. I bought a sat nav, which was one I don't use now because the other one seems to be behaving itself, and the one in the car. So thank you for your comments about the one in the Mondeo, and I've updated the card as well that comes with it. So I'm using that, so I don't need this one, and I'm selling that also on eBay, and that's on Instagram. So if you're looking for a nice big screen sat-nav, easy to do, it can be used for truckers and cars, then it's up for 40 quid. You know, cheap as chips. I just so yeah, because I don't need it, and you know, couldn't send it back, so I thought I'd, you know, just sell it. And if you're a YouTuber and you like that sort of thing, check me out on those things and we can do that. Okay, so there we go. That's a quick update. Been working really very hard. Got lots of work coming up next week particularly, and also doing a load of stuff with the Tempest company, my company. I've got some inspections coming up, and also I've got some work to do with the schools as well. So it's quite a busy period at the moment, so I'm really looking forward to that. Went out running this morning, fantastic time as well. Did my shoulder in the gym last week, so that's been a bit uncomfortable. I'm taking some ibuprofen tablets, so it's been, you know, so all in all, it's been a busy time. But anyway, what we'll do, I'll get things organised and then we'll start looking at the carburettor. I've got some bits to put to it too, so hold fire. So you're looking at the, let me just make sure you are looking at the right thing. Yeah, I can see there. I'm using the Quimic stabiliser this afternoon. I think that's how you pronounce it. So this is the carburettor that we've seen several times before. There's the famous spanner I've bought, haven't used it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up this afternoon, and then so I can start to work on it. But I've got some bits that I've got upstairs in the office that I purchased before I do that. So I'll just show you those, and then after we've done that, we'll get on and do some work with it. So hold fire. So, okay, so the first thing I've got is this carb and intake cleaner, which I'm going to use. I bought this in Helford's in Maidstone, because I thought it'd be quite useful when I'm cleaning this carb up. So I'm going to have to clean all the outside up. So that's the first thing I bought, and you spray it on, I imagine. Yeah, there's a spray here. There's some instructions here. So it's a hydrocarbons in here. So it has been developed to remove dirt, grease and varnish and gum deposits from carburetors. Yeah, so I might use some of that on the outside as well. So there we go, that's the first thing I bought. That's that one. There we go. The second thing I bought there was some new fuel line, because I noticed that if you remember the video that far back, some of it was starting to degrade, so I'm going to replace that. So it's the 502 one here, which I've got. So yes, it's meant for the new, what is it? I've got my brain working this afternoon. The new 5% and 10% petrol. What does it call it? Yes, fuel that they put in now. The amount of ethanol they put in there. So 5 and 10. I can't quite. Yes, there. Okay, that's that one. And then I bought some new Jubilee clips, these ones, because they obviously need to be fitted with that, and I thought it would be good to replace those. And also the tubing that goes into the carburettor, that's that, again from Helford. And then I bought a set of gaskets for this, and the kit, the repair kit from Cool Air. And so there they all are in there, and we'll look at some of that. And it tells you how to replace them on the back, the instructions. That's quite good. So that's that. What else did I get? Oh yes, two new things. I got this box here, which I'll open, and we'll have a look at that. So hold fire a second. So I've got my knife of destiny here, or an ex-commando knife, I think it is. So yes, MOD. It's got 1946 written on it. There we go. So just after the Second World War. So let's see what this can do. See if we can get this open. says he. I've used scissors actually. 1 second. Let's find a pair of scissors. He's doing this live, as it were. There we go. There we go. Now in here, amongst all this paper as well that's come with it, which I shall find a home for, I think, there for the time being. I have a thing about keeping packaging now, because I'm selling things on eBay. All the boxes I've got, I hang on to. So there we go. Let's just put that out of the way. I've got my trusted little stove on here, keeping my feet warm. Now in here, there we go. We have a new filter that will go on the top of here, like that. So I haven't got to use the old air cleaner. Let me just get rid of this, which I'll show you in a second. Yeah, so there it is, this one here. I bought this for, I think it was 15 quid on Marketplace and Facebook Marketplace, and it comes with all the bits. So this just fits. I'm hoping this will just literally, yes it will, fit on there. And that will do away with this bit, and also there's the other bits. Let me just find you the other one and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to just take you over and be easier with that. So, right, so if you look down here, oops, I'll get it straight. This monstrosity here is what we used as an air filter. It's got a filter in there. So I'm going to ditch that and then have the other one. So yes, which will be quite useful. I'll hang on to that because clearly it might have a use later on. I don't ever throw anything away I've got there. So that's that. Now the other thing I bought, oh yes, this bit here. So this bit here is, let me just find a home for this. Right, this here is the foam that goes round the outside of between the engine, inside the engine bay, and also protects it, and also gives a seal between the engine and the inner engine bay, so you don't get fumes coming back inside and then sucking into the engine. Now the one that's there is completely disintegrated, so I invested in this. This is from Just Campers. And you just slide, it literally just slides on. It's got a double edge here, and then this piece does the sealing, or that bit does the sealing. I think that's the side that goes looking down at the ground. So I'm going to, if you get my drift on that. So I kept the packaging just in case there's something wrong with it, but it hasn't been. So that's the when everything's been suited out and sorted out, and we've done the whole job. And then I also purchased another big piece thing for this, just in case there was a major problem with this carburettor. I bought a second one back before Christmas. So I had intended to do all this stuff before, and then I got busy at work. So you know what it's like. You end up doing multiple jobs. This is quite well sealed up. This one, I got this on eBay. I didn't buy this from so I'm going to keep this as a spare. What I'll do, hang on a second, I'll open it and then come back to you. So here we go. I'm hoping then to get the box open. Beautifully packaged. Let's see what I can get out. Says he. Right, there we go. Another box to use. Let's put that on there. There we go. There we go. Beautifully packed up. Bubble wrap, yes, keep that up. There we go. Right, there we are. This one's never been used actually, this carburettor. Brand new. So yeah, still got its ports there. I identical to the other one. So you can see the two together there. There we go. Look. So that's good, yeah. Looking really nice. First time, you're seeing it for the first time like I'm seeing it. So there we go. Now it might need setting up. Craig has advised me that it will probably need setting up, and he knows somebody who'll be able to do that for me. So there's the bits here, the step down. But I'm not going to touch this unless this one isn't going to do anything. It's beyond repair. So I'm going to leave that. So I'm going to keep that to one side, as it were, and then see how we get on. But yeah, it's got all the bits there. Everything's in place. Looks really, really nice. It's not made by Weber. It's not a Weber one. It's one another that's been clearly another make. But I understand that they're quite reliable, so that's what's important. So yeah, see the difference there. And I'll take a picture of both of them together so you can see what they're like. And then yeah, so there we are. Hold, stay, hold fire. So what I'm doing now is I'm just, with the carb cleaner, I'm just spraying this over it to get rid of all that grease, and it seems to be working. So I'm going to do that off camera and then come back to you once I've turned it. So if I turn this over, I'm using this steel catering bowl that I've had for ages, and you can immediately, well also it's a Solex, it's not a Weber carburetor. I made that mistake. You can see the muck that's coming off this after it's been in the van centuries practically. So yeah, so I'm then going to brush it, give it a good brush with a paintbrush, and then I will come back to you, just so stay tuned. So after about half an hour of cleaning, I had with the carb cleaner, and also I use a bit of methylated spirits as well. I've managed to get quite a lot of muck off this carburetor. I've emptied the bowl about 3 times, so it's starting to look a lot better. So I'm going to, as it's so cold out here, it's actually about 5-7 degrees, so my fingers are really cold. I've been using this little wire brush and this acrylic brush here, along with one paintbrush and a small paintbrush, and then using the carb cleaner as well, and this spirit here, methylated spirit. So that's been quite a good afternoon. You have to be well ventilated. This stuff stinks to high heaven. So tomorrow I'm going to attempt to open the box here, because that's where I think some of the major problems are. I'll give it another clean. It seems to evaporate quite quickly, which is quite good, so it's quite useful. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, so stay tuned. Yeah, thank you. So this is the Clayton Hotel in Birmingham. This is the room 427. It's very pleasant. There I am. Hiya. So yes, overlooking the main part of Birmingham. It's quite nice actually. Train journey on Avanti West Coast was really smooth, first class, no problems whatsoever. I've got a telly. Let's have a look here and see what the bathroom is like. Standard stuff for a hotel. Shower. Yes, all very acceptable. Oh, lights gone out. Oh, the oven's gone out. It's gone. Let's have a look down here. There we go. So, perhaps it goes out after a while. Anyway, I'm here now. That's good.
Okay. Okay, so every one of these is what I see the top line here. Ooh. Yeah. So every one of these in here. Right, yeah. Oh, I thought he was going to throw it. Oh, that's perfect. It'd take me 2 hours to pour the cocktail, but wait till I can understand. Good job. I'd drink all the profits. You know what? We look for honesty.
Does it matter what order you put them in the shape?
No.
Any order you got?
No, so you can just go back.
This is an art show. You've got to get it right.
Where are you guys from in Liverpool?
I live in Crosby. Colin lives in Birmingham now.
Nice.
We did live near each other.
I've got a lot of family in Bootle.
Yeah, I'm from Liverpool.
That's literally just up the road from Crosby. Literally just 10 minutes of that.
There's so much in common.
But I'm getting good at this.
You are?
Pro already, Colin.
I'm not spilling the drop.
Okay. So, if you want to fill, we're going to fill up our tin. Big ice. This ice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, a little bit of flair. I like that. I'm going to grab a big thing from here. Yeah. Put this down here. Put that on top nice as well. You take my finger out. Okay, give it a nice old whack. Okay. Now, we're going to give it really good shape. Guys, make some noise for the birthday boy.
Hey!
Yeah, that's it. There you go, hot coffee. There you go.
Is that enough?
Okay, we want to throw our ice back in our well. Just going to put this back in here. So you can grab that little net for me. Perfection. So, reason why we see bartenders do this is because when you pour the ice into your drink, because you shake it, there's all little shards of ice. So it makes the drink smoother, you can have a little ice in your teeth.
Oh.
Okay? So you're gonna hold this. I'll hold this, you can hold this, and we'll pour it all into our glass. All of it. You got it. And Colin, my man, there is your last flight.
Hey!
Yeah?
Round of applause.
Yay!
Okay, give that a try. If you don't like it, it's not my fault.
Not bad, it's got a kick to it.
Oh yeah. Like when you guys try some of the cocktails, honestly, they are strong. I'm just letting you know. Yeah? Well done, my man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Guys, one more round of applause for Brad.
Hey!
Well done, Echoes, our cocktail masterclass.
Times with good friends, making good memories. A little bit of sunshine and good vibes, yeah, that's all we need. And we ain't gonna worry, ain't in a hurry. Everything is going our way. We're gonna have some good times with good friends, making good memories. Everybody's moving to the song on the radio. A little Stevie Wonder never hurt nobody's soul. Something about lawn chairs.
So after a fantastic weekend, today is the actual day of my birthday. So before we headed home, we went for afternoon tea at Marco Pio White's, and here's what we did. So all in all, I think I've been pretty spoiled. I've had some fantastic people around me in both New York and Birmingham. And thanks to everyone who took part, it's been a ball.
So welcome back. It's now the next day, and can I first apologise for the lack of in-shot that you saw in the first part of this video, and that was because I had got the camera set up slightly incorrectly. I thought you could see what I could see, but you clearly couldn't. So I've now got the gimbal in the right place, so hopefully, and I can see on the screen here that you're looking at this nice bowl with the carb rhetoric. Now it's been overnight, and so what I'm going to do now is make sure that I've got as much muck off as I can, which I'll probably do off camera slightly, and then I'm going to start to take off. There's 4 screws here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws here that I'm going to undo, and then this part, you can see that this part departs from this part. And then I can then see, because this bit comes with it, I can then see where we're going. I might have to disconnect, I don't know, I've got to disconnect, yeah, I might have to disconnect the spring here as well. So, and then that will come apart. And I'll get the diagram that I've got in the house and then see where we're going with this. So I can depart the 2 parts here, and then we'll take it from there. But I think we've got to a point where I can probably, there's enough stuff cleaned off here, a bit more there, look, overnight. You can see where this has been leaking, so it needs a new gasket, and I'll just do that. I might put some gloves on. Yesterday it got so cold out here that I, even though I was wearing those sort of latexy type gloves, it was so cold. It's now under, well, it's just 5, 6, 7 degrees at the moment still, but it was so cold outside, it was -2, that I went in to warm up and I didn't come out again, so I just left it. So, but I hope you've enjoyed the first part of this video, which showed the amazing time I had in Birmingham with Colin and friends, so yes, we had a really good time, so I hope you enjoyed that and some of the fun that we had there. But back to the video, and yeah, let's get going. Okay, so I've got the book out. I know what I'm doing, so let's take these 5 screws and let's have a look inside here and see what we've got. So I'm going to use this pot top here with the spring. Let's do that, shall we? There we go. That bit's come off there. That bit had the spring on it, didn't it? So I'll put that to one side. It reminds me actually when I used to take the gramophone motors apart. That bit's there, that goes on there. I remember the first time I did it when I was probably about 14 or 13 or 12, something. That seemed, I was very dubious as to whether I'd get it all back together again. And in fact I did. I think I changed the spring actually or something on my 101 that I've still got. And yeah, I was quite pleased about that, and it worked as well. So hopefully today will be just as successful. Otherwise, I shall be asking for some help somewhere. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look in here. This is the gasket, which I'm going to change anyway. This is the float. This goes up and down. It's quite dirty in here. There's a little case that goes over there. And this is the float. It's not too bad in there. You can see there. Not too bad in there. I'm going to put some cleaner in there. I imagine that must be a screw that's used to drain a screw. Okay. And then I need to just check the jets that are in here. So, which look a bit mucky, so I'm going to give those a bit of a clean. Yes, so there they go. I think that's what they're called, those two little things. I'm just learning myself here. So, number 7 will be the float. Yeah, that's the float thing there, and that piece goes in the top. That seems okay to me. That goes in there like that, and the other bit goes on top. There's a pin there, so I must be careful I don't lose that. And that goes on top. So I just got to make sure that that's the bit that shuts it off, so that the petrol doesn't keep on coming out. Okay. So yes. And then this bit at the bottom there. Okay. And then I assume that this here I assume this bit here is what allows the flow to go through from the top, and then it goes out of here through there, so I need to make sure that's clean, and that's quite simply all it is basically. So I just need to clean this up, so I'm going to do that slightly off camera. Just make sure that all the bits are cleaned out basically. So I'll come back to you in a second. So welcome back. Now I've completely cleaned out the chamber in here, or you can see that or not. This is where the petrol goes, and then what happens is that this is the float. I've got a special pin there. This float fits on top of here, like so. And then when the petrol comes in to the top here, there's a little place there, through this aperture here, it goes into here, and this pin sits on top of the float, just to obviously once that's open, that's closed, shuts the petrol off from coming into this chamber before it then goes into the other chamber, the main chamber, where it mixes with air. So I've done that now. I'm just going to clean this bit up, and then I'm going to get out a new gasket from my gasket kit. This is the old gasket, and see whether that improves anything. That's the piece that goes on top of the float, so it needs to go that way, I think. Or is it that way? I can't remember now. I think it's that way around. Yes, like that. That goes up and down. Send your finger out. That's it, like that. So this, I've used some cleaner, the carburetor cleaner, and so I've cleaned all the jets are working. It's all fine. There's nothing stopping anything going through there. The only thing that worried me slightly was there was no petrol in here, which slightly worries me that perhaps there may be a blockage from the fuel pump, but I'll have to check that out when I start the van up, just to see whether it's working or not into as a receptacle. Whether the fuel pump is actually, but it certainly sounds like it's working whenever I switch the van on. So I don't know, but we'll see. And then, well, anyway, that's for the future. Now I'm going to just put this piece back again. Get the new gasket, and I'll come back to you in a second. So you see that, and I found the right gasket in the kit. This is the new one, and that's the old one there. So this one fits perfectly over there. It's a really nice cardboard one, and then the instructions are quite clear as well. And then this bit fits over the top of this. So that bit goes back down there, like so, and then this piece will go on here. So first of all, I'm going to put this bit with a tab on it. This has got I'm going to put this one in here, like so, just to secure it. You see my surgical gloves here, like so. Says he. Like so I'm going to do that with the others, and then I'll come back to you. So what I've done here, I've just cut off the other end of this piece that I don't need anymore, which is, just get this to show you, this piece. This bit was for the part of the air cleaner that I'm not using, so I'm going to seal that off. That's coming off. Okay. So and I'm going to put a screw in there so it blocks that off. I'm going to find that. So I've now put a small screw in the end there. That's from the air cleaner, because we don't need that. The new one, which will be sitting on top, which is the big one here. That piece does connect. And that fits over there, like so. I need to just open the Jubilee up a bit. So I normally do, and that will then fit over there. So then what happens is then you fit that on there. Got my glove cord, and then that fits on the engine itself. There we go, that's what it looks like. Hopefully once it's going, I won't be putting that on until the engine's actually up and running, so which is most important. So let's tighten that up so I don't lose the Jubilee clip. There we go, and there we are. So that's quite good. I think today the new gasket in there, just need to make sure that all this is tightened up. There we go. All these are tightened down nicely. Easy to forget sometimes. The gasket has a function in that it seals the two parts of the carburetor. There we go. There we go. There we are. So there we are. So I think that's all I can do this afternoon. I've just got to make sure I've got the gasket for the bit that goes onto the engine, the top of the engine there. There should be one in here. Let's have a look, see what we can find. So let's find. Right, so there we are. That one do? Yes, there we go. I think there's different sizes. That's the one that I'm going to use there. I think I had an original one which is kicking around somewhere. Oh, there it is there. There's the old one. So that's the old one, and then I've got the new one. It's not too bad. to keep the old ones separated. So there we are. So this kit's quite good. In here you've got all the various bits, elements that you need to replace other parts. There's a bit of card. So there's the little gasket, there's the little diaphragm here, there's the bit that goes on. If you need that, that goes, I think that goes one of the other places. Where are we? So it goes now. I think it goes on where the diaphragm goes in. I can't see if you're looking. Let's just take that out for a second. Let's put it up the right way. Oh yes, here. That bit is the gasket for over here. I haven't ventured into there, so I think that's okay. And then there's the diaphragm which sits in there. I'm hoping that that's going to be okay. It looks all right to me. So yes, that should be okay in there because that has that rod on the end, and that should be okay. So there's this quite a simple mechanism, but yeah, okay. So be back soon. So I've taken a leap of faith and I've replaced the diaphragm that was under this cover here, and it's quite worn actually. So I've put a new one in, and that seems to work quite well. So yes, on there that seems to do quite well. So I've done that, and just tightening these screws up. It came off very easily. There we go. So hopefully that's also improved a little bit. So there we go. Yes, coming together now. All coming together very nicely, I think. Yeah. Okay. There we are. Another part done. And I'm not sure what that part of the engine's called actually on the carburettor. It doesn't actually have a, what is number 11 on here? Electromagnetic cut-off system. No, it's not quite the same, but it pushes into there, so it's part of that. So I've just replaced that. That's the choke, auto choke, if I'm right in thinking, on this piece. Yeah, which shuts off as well. So I'll have a look at that in a minute and see what's in there. I'm getting quite bold in my use here. That's another old piece. So I'm keeping all the old pieces separate, and yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, I'll be back with you. Slight heart-stopping moment then, because I realised that the flap for the choke, which is controlled from this solenoid here, was on the wrong side. It was in the wrong place. It was below here, and it needs to be so it closes off. So I've managed to do that, and I put the spring back. This is the step down here. This is how much choke you have. So I've done that now, and I've re-tightened everything. So hopefully that's okay. As I say, my only concern is that there was no petrol in the chamber when I opened it up, which concerns me a little bit that there's no fuel coming out. So I will have to check the fuel lines, which need changing anyway on the van. I'll do that. And then the whole thing can then... Oh, hang on a minute. I've forgotten something here. This bit needs to go back on. I thought there was a bit here missing. Oh, can we just do that a second? I'll take this off on camera and come back to you in a minute. But yeah, we'll just need to take this off here. I wonder why those screws seemed easy to go on. I need to do that. Check the fuel lines. They need changing anyway, as you probably saw from episode 1. This is quite a long episode. I do apologise for that, but hopefully you found it interesting. If you like this type of stuff, don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and share this channel on social media. If you want to do that, that's fine. Contact me. I'm on Instagram, so if you want to follow me on there, and I'm on LinkedIn and X as well. So let's just put this bit back here, and this part there, that goes in there. And yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this afternoon's little exercise. Oh dear. And I'll come back to you with a fuller episode 3 of Sunshines Carburetor, and we'll play out with some records. I'll see if I can find some sides to play for you, and if you're not interested in that, just skip to the end screen, and yeah, there we go. Don't forget the information will be, here we go, there we are there, like that. That's part of that bit. And there we go, like so, and there we are. So we have one hopefully refurbished Solex carburetor, Solex 34 PICT3 carburetor, ready to go back onto Sunshine, and then hopefully we'll have an engine that runs. So thank you very much for following along, and see you on episode 3. Just to finish off, just to let you know that it's literally 10 degrees in here. It was 7 when I came in, so it's yeah, quite cold. And I've luckily got my best friend here, my old stove, and he's looking good. This is really keeping me warm. So yeah, so it's been a bit of a exercise this afternoon, but yes, worth all the time. So yes, anyway, see you all soon. So to play out this quite long video on the carburetor and my wonderful trip to Birmingham, I'm going to play out with a parlophone record from the Maidstone collection that I've got. I'm playing through this, and I was just tossing up whether I'd actually played this before. Hopefully I haven't, because there's so many beautiful records amongst his collection that I play them all the time. This is They Can't Convince Me by Artie and his orchestra, and the vocalist is Mel Tyrone. So enjoy and see you very soon. I'll play both sides of this and then take it from there. So there we go. Let's just start the old player up. There we go. Here we go.
They can't convince me that you're not the dream. No matter how they try, not even when they say, doesn't she walk and talk like ordinary people do? I reply, can you deny she's too lovely fell from a star, and every time I hold you in my arms, I'm more than sure they can't convince me, for a dream is what you are.
There we go, very nice. And I'll play the B side or the A side, second side of this. Let me just turn this over. And the second side of this record is It's the Same Old Dream, again with Martyrone on vocals.
I can see a steeple surrounded by people. Oh, how real it all starts to seem. Just as the choir is singing, my alarm starts ringing. It's the same old dream. And then my thoughts inspire a scene by the fire in a cottage close by a stream. I know it all by heart now. We're about to part now. It's the same old dream. If you but knew how many times I pretend that I'm with you, I'm sure your heart wouldn't bend. You'd see me through until my dream had a happy ending. And I can picture clearly the things I love dearly. In the center you reign supreme. We kiss and I'll discover I'm a lonesome lover. It's the same old dream.
There we go. And I've just done some research. This record came out in 1947. Let's help the Garrard there. Came out in 1947, so it's post-war. But it's and Mel Tyrone's son does sing and has played all over the UK. I think been down to I think it's Margate or Maidstone, one area, one time I saw. But I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, see you on the very next episode 3. Take care.